Don't be fooled by politicians with their press conferences and political stunts. This is truly modern day Kabuki Theatre. We see this with the Robert Brooks Day of Advocacy at the state capitol in Albany. Elected officials came out neatly dressed with every delicate strand of hair laid on colorful fabrics. Those who are awake know these shenanigans rarely move the needle. Instead, they operate to conduct photo ops and generate false realities that something is being done. What I watched on January 27th press conference made me think of the following scripture verse. Matthew chapter 6 verses 5 to 8. And when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, that they may be seen by others. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. And when you pray, do not heap up empty phrases as the Gentiles do, for they think that they will be heard for their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. I recently bought a kid's $40 magic set from Amazon. It's surprising that the majority of magic tricks are all about distraction. I make you look at my left hand while my right hand operates deceptively, taking your attention away from how my trick is completed. These politicians operate in a similar fashion, distracting you from the main issue, forcing you to focus on secondary or issues that mean nothing. This is the case when politicians introduce you to Senate bills. Don't be fooled. Can there be some good coming from Senate bills introduced by these politicians? Possibly. Do these Senate bills move the needle? Absolutely not. Are these Senate bills distracting you? Yes. It's funny how this day of advocacy spoke very little about the lack of arrest since it has been moved to the special prosecutor, Bill Fitzpatrick. Another major political distraction, shutting down Marcy Correctional Facility. Chants of shutting down Marcy Correctional are being screamed by disciples following poverty pimps and those who do not have the best interest of those brutalized in mind. These distractions, Senate bills, calls for prison closures, move you away from the following main issue. New York State docs, correctional officers, law enforcement, and district attorneys do not see inmates as human beings. Instead, they are seen as property of the state with no rights that can be done with as the powers that be are pleased, whether it be abused, sodomized, or made to work as slaves. New York State and the nation already has laws on the books that protect human beings from abuse, beatings, and being unalived. We don't need any more Senate bills and a continuation of modern day Kabuki theater. Individuals and institutions need to be held accountable using the laws we have presently. We don't need any more legislation. District attorneys refuse to investigate and prosecute. They need to be held accountable for those actions. I am going to play clip one. This shows New York State Assemblyman Edward Gibbs, commonly known as Eddie Gibbs.
One of the good things that Governor Hochul did was help secure the nominations for Commissioner Dan Monticello. He's a new commissioner, and I feel sorry for him. This fell on his plate. He's doing a great job, much more to do. But we got to follow this up. And, I think closing these two facilities is the right thing to do.
Every politician has two jobs: make themselves and other politicians look good and get reelected. Answer this in the comments section for me, please. Do you really believe Governor Kathy Hochul has done a great job? Do you really believe that New York State Corrections Commissioner Dan Marchicello has done a great job as well? If you think so, inmates will continue being killed with or without body cameras. Here is another clip from New York State Assemblyman Eddie Gibbs.
Let's hope this is the start of turning it around finally, right?
We're praying, again, we have a great commission in Daniel Monticello.
Yeah.
We have a caring governor. Let's see if we could do something. I know they want to talk about policy, but I want to talk about closure because you send a message
Yes.
that, abuse will not be tolerated, either
Exactly.
by incarcerated individuals or officers.
Well, Assembly Member, thank you so much for your time this morning and for the work that you're doing.
Thank you for having
I
me.
appreciate your time.
Thank you for having
Eddie
us.
Gibbs, thank you for coming in this
Thank you.
morning. We appreciate it.
There is nothing caring about this. If politicians and those so-called community activists truly cared, they would do the following. Get Greyhound buses, as many as you can afford, and fill them with the general public. Fill those buses up with people. Take those buses to the office of Bill Fitzpatrick and protest every single day until those corrections officers who unalived Robert Brooks and those who participated in the cover-up are arrested. Every single day there should be protests outside of the office of Bill Fitzpatrick. The streets surrounding his office should be filled with the chants of, say his name, Robert Brooks. Scream it, and demand justice to those who have the power of prosecution. No more Kabuki Theatre. I will leave you with another scripture verse. Matthew chapter 7, verses 15 to 20. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? So, every healthy tree bears good fruit, but the diseased tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a diseased tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, you will recognize them by their fruits. If you found value in this video, please share the video, like the video, and most importantly, subscribe. There is a suppression of videos concerning this topic on YouTube. Spread the word, please. Take care. God bless.